of trust to the tune of over 109 billion naira, said the suspects should be in custody of the Nigerian Correctional Center till when they are blamed. Others arraigned alongside Idris are Godfrey Olusegun Akindele, Muhammad Kudu Usman, Gazawa Commodity Market and Exchange Limited. On the foreign scene, the Malian army says it has repelled a terror attack on its main military base just outside the nation's capital, Bamako. In a statement, the army also revealed that 2 cars packed with explosives were detonated at the military base, adding that 2 of the assailants were killed and that the situation is under control. Recall that people living near the camp had reported hearing heavy gunfire for around an hour, and helicopters were seen circling above the base, which is just 15 kilometers from Bamako. Jihadists have been carrying out frequent attacks in the central and northern parts of the country. The military in Sri Lanka has taken control of the presidential secretariat in Colombo after an assault on protesters. It was gathered that soldiers also destroyed tents at the adjacent Godako Gama protest site, arrested several protest leaders, and sealed off the area together with about 100 protesters. The military assault came hours after the protesters yesterday withdrew from the camp in front of the Prime Minister's official residence. Recall that the demonstrators had already announced their intention to withdraw from the presidential secretariat on July 22nd. You are listening to the Global News on Soul 95.7 FM or Risubari Lagos Ibadan Expressway, Ibadan. We'll take a break now. The news resumes shortly. Please stay tuned.
Security is everyone's responsibility, so be security conscious always. A message from Soul 95.7 FM or Risubari Lagos Ibadan Expressway, Ibadan.
Attention all drivers. Excessive speeding can kill. Slow and steady wins the race. Don't let avoidable accidents send you to an early grave. Drive with care. A message from Soul 95.7 FM, Orisumbari Lagos Ibadan Expressway, Ibadan.
Welcome back. You're still listening to the Global News on Soul 95.7 FM or Risubari Lagos Ibadan Expressway, Ibadan. Now to the rest of the news. The United States health officials has confirmed its first polio case in nearly a decade, disclosing that the unnamed patient in Rockland County has developed paralysis from the virus and is no longer contagious, adding that the person was unvaccinated and was probably exposed to an individual who received a vaccine that contains the weakened live virus. Recall that last month, health officials in the United Kingdom called on parents to vaccinate their children, warning that the virus had been found in London death samples. The last known United States case of the highly contagious virus was recorded in 2013. Other cases have been reported in other parts of the world in recent times. Still in the United States, an ex-policeman, Thomas Lane, has been jailed for 2.5 years for violating the civil rights of George Floyd, whose death in Minneapolis led to protests in 2020. Lane, one of the officers who tried to arrest Mr. Floyd, was sentenced following a conviction in February after he was found guilty of showing deliberate indifference to the medical needs of Mr. Floyd, a 46-year-old black man. It was gathered that federal prosecutors had called for Lane to face more than 5 years in prison, but his lawyers had asked for just over 2 years on the grounds that Lane had suggested pushing Mr. Floyd onto his side and had attempted to resuscitate him. Recall that in May, Lane pleaded guilty to aiding and abetting manslaughter charges and agreed to a sentence of 3 years in jail. He will now serve the 2 sentences at the same time. Report from the Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan's office says that Russia, Ukraine and Turkey is planning to sign a deal proposed by the United Nations to free up grain exports from Ukraine's besieged Black Sea ports. Erdogan spokesman Ibrahim Kalin disclosed that the grain export agreement for global food security would be signed in Istanbul tomorrow under the support of President Erdogan and the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres with Ukrainian and Russian delegations. Guterres revealed that United Nations are planning to ensure Ukraine is able to export millions of tons of grain stockpiles that have been stored in Ukraine's Black Sea ports due to the war. The United Nations President who reported that the 22 million tons of grain stored in Ukraine could ease the global food crisis as Russia's invasion of Ukraine has sent food prices soaring. To end the news, a brief recap of our top stories. Oyo State Governor Engineer Seyi Makinde met with critical stakeholders of the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, LAUTECH, Ogbomoso, in a bid to address major issues affecting the institution. The United States has reported its first polio case in nearly a decade. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan's office says Russia, Ukraine and Turkey plans to sign a deal proposed by the United Nations to free up grain exports from Ukraine's besieged Black Sea ports. For comments, suggestions or breaking news, you can reach us on 091 5222 2957 or 091 5555 5957. You can also follow our social media platforms on Facebook at Soul 95.7 FM and on Instagram at Soul 95.7 FM. That ends the news, edited by Cousin Bolariwa, assisted by Kemsola Williams. I am Wuraola Olakomi. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon.
Religion is only a way of life. But do you know the God you serve? Do you worship Him in truth and in